In the Fever's first home game in more than a week, they returned to Gainbridge Fieldhouse Saturday night against the Chicago Sky and easily handled them, disposing of them 92-70. They're 4-0 against Chicago this season, winning by an average of 25 points, and with one more meeting remaining. I'm Scott Agness of Fieldhouse Files.com. Well, it's been less than 48 hours against their troubling visit to Phoenix, losing Aari McDonald, foot injury. Sydney Colson, torn ACL, both lost for the rest of the season due to those challenging injuries. And this group continues to rally together. They have a core that just works. They have a group that has bought in together. And post-game, we heard Kelsey Mitchell call this team resilient, the most resilient team that she's ever been a part of.
Unbelievably proud. I think this is the most resilient team I've ever been a part of, and I say that wholeheartedly. We've had a lot of mishap happen throughout the course of the season, and I think throughout the course of it all, we stay resilient, and you guys get to see us at our best when we stay together and be resilient. So shout out to my girls tonight, because I think it took everybody. Everyone played a piece, played a role, and I think that's how we got the dub.
For this group, the way that they share the ball, how unselfish they are, I mean, I'm really proud of them. It's not been ideal circumstances all season long, but they've shown the character of who they are. They've been resilient, they've responded to adversity, and they continue to elevate one another. And I couldn't be more proud of this group than I am at this moment.
Now, league rules do not allow this Fever team to sign a player, with the hardship exception for tonight's game. It did not matter. They played with 9, got down to 9 players, 0 true point guards, and they still managed to get the job done and do so quite handily. They came into the game favored by 10 points. They leave with more than a 20-point win. It was Lexi Hall starting in place of Aari McDonald in this one, and she broke out of her scoring slump, something you knew was bound to happen, and it was just a matter of time. It's such a difficult spot, I think, for a player to deal with. They hear all the negativity. They hear it, and more than anything, they feel it. They know that they're missing shots, and it's, as a shooter, it's got to be one of the most frustrating things, but you just keep shooting, you just stay with your routines, and she finished with 17 points, including 4 three-pointers.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It feels good to see the ball go through the net, but I think, every game, regardless, you're making shots, you're not, it feels really, really good to have your teammates behind you, and I definitely feel that every day, and it's fun today to get to celebrate some of those.
Yeah, I'm proud of her. She is her own worst critic. She's a perfectionist. She wants everything to go right all the time. And, it was nice to see the ball go through the net for her and for her to play with such confidence. I mean, for us, we believe that every time she shoots it, it's going to go in. But for her to finally feel that and see that and play with so much confidence, it's big for us. We need her. She always does the little things that don't show up on the stat sheet, but when she knocks down shots, we're a different team.
I think for me, it's focusing on doing the right thing, taking the right shots, being in the right place, focusing less on the outcome of things. Missed shots happen. It's going to happen in everyone's career. And to just really focus on getting the next good one. I think that's the whole mindset, and we know we have confidence in every single person on every shot that they take. So, it's just keep shooting.
Now, the Fever scored 25 points in that first quarter, getting off to a good start, giving them a 9-point lead in this one. It was a game they only trailed briefly, and they led by as many as 25 points. And one thing they did differently was go to zone. They went to that zone to junk it up, to mix it up. And it was something that felt like the Sky really failed to solve the riddle of. It got them, obviously, out of their routine, out of what they can expect. And it was something that Coach White shared post-game that they installed just hours earlier during their walkthrough that they hold before games. And so good implementation and great execution by the players.
We knew that we were going to have to do something a little different. As a staff, it was trying to find out what would give us the best advantage. This did. And we put it in shoot around today, and talked about how we wanted to utilize it, and they were active. They had awareness, they had energy, they were communicating. They did a really good job, and I was looking at the stat sheet and I was like, dang, we gave up 11 threes, and Austin and Bree and Rima were like, Steph, we just put us in 4 hours ago. It's like, I'm greedy, but I'm proud. I mean, it was a good look for us, and they executed it.
Now, the Fever shot 47%, and without their three-point guards, get this, just 7 turnovers, only 2 in the final half, and on top of that, they recorded 21 assists in the win. To lead all players, it was Kelsey Mitchell. Who else for this Fever team so far this season? 26 points, 8 assists, and she said post-game that she felt like she was back at Ohio State, back in college, needing to play point guard for the first time in a very long time.
So that was different, but I think it brings out the vulnerable side of me, the leadership in which I need to keep getting better at and keep growing at. I think being in this PG position kind of helps with that. And I think I believe in my team, so seeing my assists, go up is just because of these girls. We have an unbelievable chemistry when it comes to, seeing and reading each other, so I think they made me look good tonight.
Sophie Cunningham started at point guard, handled a lot of the point guard responsibilities, and also scoring 16 points. Aaliyah Boston adding 15. But overall, this just had to be an emotional game, an emotional last 48 hours for this entire Fever team. Look, they didn't even get back to Indianapolis Friday morning until about 6 a.m., right? Because their game was at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Then you take the red-eye overnight flight. Yes, it's a charter flight. Yes, it's direct, but that's not an ideal situation in terms of hours and can throw off your schedule. And on top of that, you lose a couple of your teammates, not just for right now, but for the rest of the season. Sydney Colson absolutely will need surgery, and likely the case for Aari McDonald, but neither one has had it or is official. Both were here tonight, and both were on crutches. Now, we also saw in that Phoenix game Sophie Cunningham tweaking her left ankle. Lexi Hull did tonight. She even had ice on her right ankle after the game. But overall, they've still managed to come together, are well connected. It seems like the vibes were at their all-time high over the last week while they were on that West Coast trip. And that tends to happen when you're on the road for a long road trip, a week like they were. They had 5 games in 9 days, a 4-game road trip over 7, a challenging WNBA schedule, something they've obviously got to look at as they agree on a new collective bargaining agreement and set the schedule for upcoming years. But the vibes are at an all-time high, and then Phoenix happened.
Obviously we lost our last 2, but I think, that LA one felt good for us because we didn't quit. And then, life happened the other night at the Valley, so we could have looked at it like, oh, woe is me, and, we don't have enough players, and we didn't. So shout out to our group for just staying confident and staying ready because, it's a professional league and we have to be ready and we can't make too many excuses about it because no one's going to hand us anything. So we might as well look at it for what it is and keep showing up.
Just to add to that, I think Kelsey's not giving herself enough credit. Her and Sophie putting themselves before the team, making sure that they're sacrificing, playing out of position, doing things that they don't normally do, maybe uncomfortable, but I think they both really did a great job of sacrificing in those moments and doing what the team needed to do.
My girl. Sexy Lexi.
Yeah, how about those comments right there? It says a lot about this team and how they've come together, of how they root for one another, lift each other up, and the fact that, Kelsey singling out teammates. Lexi Hull making a point right there to elevate Kelsey, to elevate Sophie Cunningham for what they did, sacrificing for their team, playing out of position, and excelling.
I look at them a little bit like I look sometimes at my kids. It's like, okay, you sit back and you smile. You see how they come together. You see how they bounce back. You're proud. I'm proud of them in these moments because it's not always easy. I mean, this league is not easy. This job, it's not easy. They go through a lot. But when you love who you come to work with every day, when it's not about you and it's about everybody else and it's about the whole, it makes it worth it. It makes going through the struggles worth it. And I just think that this group is a special one.
Now, we've talked a lot about the injury news, probably will continue to do because it's been a theme of this season. The theme for the season is probably a season of disruption is what I've basically coined it. But after that injury news, I guess the positive overall was the fact of their short-term upcoming schedule. And over the next week, they play the 4 teams at the bottom of the standings, not just conference, but overall standings. Tonight, it was an 8-win Chicago Sky team, a team they've handled quite easily throughout this season. Disappointing that neither team was at full strength. Certainly a showcase game nationally on CBS, but so many injuries, a lot of scheduling that has, definitely negatively impacted this season. And still, You're going to have a good crowd on CBS. They obviously showed Caitlin Clark a lot. And more than that, this one attracted a sellout crowd, and the Fever put on a show in a 22-point win. Now, they'll take Sunday off. The front office will be busy deciding who to bring in to help further with this roster. It's more than just talent, obviously. Fit and how they can mesh together is obviously critically important as well. Then they host Dallas coming up on Tuesday. From Gainbridge Fieldhouse, I'm Scott Agness of FieldhouseFiles.com.